One more thing on that, it's also, especially like Brian, if he's got a VMI supplier, the secret sauce is in the configuration of the buffer that the average inventory is the red zone plus half of the green zone. And if the vendor says, I don't want to carry that much inventory, well then okay, then can you change your lead time? So if they want to drive that inventory down, then it's their lead time. So you can say, well, okay, now that we've given you a stable signal, can you reduce that lead time, which then reduces the amount of inventory they have to hold to be a VMI supplier. So it's a win-win conversation with your suppliers.
Yeah, I think also that some of the size of the sort of resupply batch from your suppliers, sometimes they were set at the first point that you started to actually work with that supplier. And nobody's ever gone back to them and said, well, hang on, is that batch size what it should be? And sometimes your suppliers are making in batches that are so big that even they don't want to make it in that size batch because it is actually consuming resource within their factory that they want to use for something else. So if you're able to go and see your suppliers and actually think about these things with them, there are all sorts of things which are able to be pushed forward from that.
Just to follow on there, for a supplier, then, though, how much of a problem is one of their customers coming on and saying, I want to go demand-driven operating model, and you might be 20% of their volume, and their other customers are still, MRP-driven, orders all over.
Can I?
Yeah, Mark, go
I
ahead.
would say that normally that's not a significant issue because if they can stabilise some of their supply, that is something which they would be kind of anxious to actually do. The more of their sort of input into their business that they're able to actually, settle down, and actually they will then see that. The flip side is that you should be speaking with your customers, so they should be speaking with their customers and actually encouraging them to do the same thing, so that the rest of their supply can be done in the same way.
But if their customers are my competitors, I'm not too sure I want them to.
That's a different question.
I think I'd add to that as well. By using DDMRP with the supplier, then in effect what they're going to find some benefits where they get capacity released because we're now giving them a stable signal, they know what the real priorities are, we're not on the phone to them every day saying, hang on guys, that urgent order we gave you last week is now not urgent, can you now break into the schedule and produce this instead please? So they actually get capacity release which they, is there as an opportunity they can use for whatever else, so that's another positive benefit.
That's a really good point. So in Unilever, we didn't tell the suppliers when we turned it on, we implemented EDMRP, we don't tell them because we were universally hated. So to go and ask your supplier, could you do something for us? When all you're been doing is throwing them noise and noise and noise for years and years and years, you ask them, can we collaborate and do something interesting and clever? They usually have a few choice words and send you home. Once you've implemented and stabilised that demand signal, you've removed the bullwhip, suddenly they'll be knocking on the door saying, what's changed? Why is it so stable? We can start to work together again. So
You're going to go down the road, and this is where, I like this kind of opportunities. Like you, I say what I think. If you think you're going to do Internet of Things or Industry 4.0 without doing some kind of demand-driven operating model underneath that to handle all the volatility, you are heading for the cliff at warp speed. You're going to die. Because the more things you connect, the more variability you whiplash through the network. So any small source of variability, when you connect it to more things, amplifies that variability. So the only way you're going to succeed with Internet of Things or Industry 4.0 is you've got to have some kind of a demand-driven operating model in there to be able to absorb the variability that everybody else is throwing at you. And there's actually companies in the United States, one of some of the early adopters of demand-driven, that they actually became the variability absorption hub for their entire supply chain. That's what they did. That was their competitive advantage. So where everybody else was losing their minds, these guys were absorbing all this variability and getting paid very handsomely for it. So, that's always my concern about. I did a thing in Spain, in Bilbao, that's where it is. It's great when I get over jet lag that my brain gets back in works again. I'm trying to think of Bilbao last night, I couldn't think of it. And I was there, and it was like, demand driven and why Industry 4.0 won't work. And it's the reason is because the more things you connect together, any small variability will amplify. So you have to have the ability to be able to manage that kind of variability in an interconnected world.
Yeah, exactly. Ditto. Patrick's actually written quite a nice article on this in response to a question he received when you were doing a conference in Switzerland not that long ago. But yeah, in effect, all you're going to do without all that Industry 4.0 or the Internet of Things is going to do is get you to do what you were going to do, but a whole lot faster. So if you're currently getting the wrong stuff in the wrong quantities to the wrong place at a reasonable pace today, all you're going to do tomorrow without having a good signal is get the wrong stuff in the wrong quantities to the wrong place that much quicker, which is going to lead to total disaster. So that's my take on it. So at the end of the day, it's the same old story you get with what you used to get from IT, which is rubbish in, rubbish out, but it's rubbish out more efficiently. It's exactly the same thing here. And the rubbish in, of course, is the forecast. Because the forecast at the level of SKU for a particular time going to a particular location is, at best, 50% correct in world class. On aggregate, it's fine. But when we're talking about Internet of Things and Industry 4.0, we're not talking about aggregates. We're talking about specific orders going to specific places and fulfilling specific demands in industry. That, at a forecast level, is horrendous. And if you accelerate it and automate it, it's going to get even worse.
I have a little different opinion.
I'm right next to you.
I know that. One of the biggest sources of variation in any enterprise is management, judgment, decision-making, whatever, indiscretion, lack of knowledge, focusing on the wrong measures. I have a different perspective on IoT. I think that there is a potential or a promise in this to bring true reality into the picture where we can actually make decisions on real data as opposed to what people are describing as happening when they don't really know. If you can imagine, a lot of them will measure and track consumption of items. Intelligence in a vending machine that knows exactly what's being consumed. Other factors like that have the promise of bringing clarity to what's actually happening. Because so much of the challenge in big organizations is the lack of understanding between cause and effect, right? We make interpretations about what's happening in our environment. Joe tells Sally, Sally tells Bill, Bill tells Ginny, and at the end of the day, what happens, the story gets distorted, and we really don't know what we're trying to attack here. So I can't say it's going to happen. I have the promise or the hope that it's going to bring more visibility. And from that, we'll get better intelligence out of our own leadership teams and what have you in terms of how they steer the organization.
Yeah, my take on that is when I read the literature, it seems that people focus on, this is about making things faster and cheaper. But the question is, are you producing the right things faster and cheaper? If it's the right things faster and cheaper, then yes. But if it's the wrong thing, then as Carol said, you're going toward a real disaster. And that's why I think if you combine digitization, Industry 4.0 with a demand-driven operating model at its bottom, it's like, then you have a real winner. But without that, if it's still driven based on bad demand signal, on forecast and planned orders, then there is a big risk that you are speeding and creating very cheap and very fast products that actually for which there is no demand.